So you guys are going to BG, hopefully.
Yeah. She is for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we know Chad Campbell graduated from BG, and he's toured with Broadway's Sound of Music.
Sound of Music, yeah.
He was the
He's
love
done all
interest.
kinds of stuff, yeah. And then you did that for
Rolf.
a while.
He was Rolf, and he's done cruise ships. So he went straight from BG to.
I think he went to the cruise ships first, right? Out
Cruise
of BG.
ships first,
Yeah.
and
So if you
then-
want to listen to it, we have a podcast recording with him.
And
he's
Katie, did Katie
Trumbull?
auditioning?
I thought she was around here teaching still. Okay.
No, that was the thing, is that she was
at
a
the Met.
student at the time at Bowling Green and
Okay.
teaching at the Met
Met.
in Sylvania. And then when she was done doing all that, packed up her stuff, went to New York. So she's been
Was
in
auditioning.
So that's a recent thing. I mean, she
Very cool.
may be there
Well,
for
apartment
less than
together.
6 months at this point in time. So it's new. So when she hits it big, we know her.
We know her.
Yeah.
We had Libby Survey, who
Yeah.
I think was on the Broadway in Love, Libby.
Yeah.
So Libby was probably 5 years younger than me in high school. So we never really crossed paths, but she would always be like, I used to go to the shows and watch you. She's like, I'm in theater. And I was like, okay, so I'm a high school theater director and you're playing Galinda on Broadway. Cool. But she came back and did a workshop with my students, which was really cool.
Cool.
So when was that? When did she do that?
Just a week or two ago.
Oh, so she came back for the Broadway in Love thing.
Right,
then.
right, and
Okay.
reached
I
out
went
to
to
me and
see
said,
it.
hey, can we?
You went to see it?
Like the entire theater department.
30 of us.
Yeah.
30 of
Did
them
you
went.
see me? I was there.
What?
I was
You
in
didn't
the
say
front
hi?
row. I was sat right next to Grandma almost.
Oh, come on.
No, for real, I did.
Well, I was in the back.
Oh, sorry. I got,
Yeah.
You got free tickets, Hustle.
Oh, no, sorry. It's, no complaints.
I got the
The
upgrade.
department brought those.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well,
That's
Well,
why,
we had them on and we talked to them.
that's why we do this podcast.
Yeah,
for free
tickets.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
Well,
and so
duh.
we know them, and they came up and
They're
and
lovely.
oh yeah, but I didn't stay and talk to them afterwards because their whole family was there. I'm not
Right.
I'm like, go talk to Mima. I'm not anybody. I'm just a dummy. So it was like, oh hi, how are the kids? Blah blah. I'm like, okay, thank you, great
Yep.
show. Bye.
Bye.
Go see mom. Go see everybody. That's actually way more important
Right,
in your
right,
life than the bald guy over here. Yeah. Yes, but they are the sweetest.
Yeah.
They were also on the podcast. So if you ever want to listen to their whole story, so that was the first. But you went to Broadway in Love, so you heard a lot of what was going on there.
yeah.
She did neglect to say that she said she basically tackled the professor at Baldwin Wallace. She kind of glazed over that part because she went for choral studies originally, or vocal training, and then she went into. Did she tell you any of this on
Yeah.
your own?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can tell me to shut up. It's
No,
okay.
it's
If you've
okay. I'll
already heard
listen.
it. Yeah, if you already heard the story, then
That's all right.
Yeah, she said she basically tackled the person and said, "I've made a huge mistake." I need
Oh
to
my
do it."
gosh.
Yeah. She's like, "Can you
Little
let
Libby?
me?" Yeah.
It's like Skylar tackling. So.
Well, then she,
Right. How tiny.
Right, I know. She's like, she had to audition after her first year at Baldwin Wallace to get into the program. She wasn't just like, hey, can I be it? And they're like, oh, sure, come on over. That's not how Baldwin Wallace works.
It's an awesome school. Yeah, I mean, that's a top tier school.
Yeah, that's why she kind of glazed over it in her show. I was like, oh, that's not exactly right. He didn't just be like, oh, come on in, Libby. We have all this space just for you waiting.
Yeah.
No, that's
yeah.
not how it works.
That's
So,
not it. No.
No. But
She
so
climbed.
did you apply to a bunch of different schools too? Or
I actually was trying to convince myself I wanted to be a doctor for a long
Oh,
time, but
okay.
we know that's not what I want. So yeah,
I can't
no,
tell you how many careers Gabby has had this year.
it's
alone.
true. But guys, I'm serious because theater's what I've always wanted to do.
Then
and
you
so
should
I'm
do
doing it. And I was just scared, and I feel like all the pieces are aligned now.
You're
that
scared because it's not a traditional thing
Yeah,
to do.
but honestly, I don't even care if I fail. I'll be so upset if I don't try.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
My son is doing it in college now.
You told him it doesn't hurt to try.
I said, what's the point? I said, if you do it and you get it, then you're going to be happy. If you don't do it, that office job is waiting for you already.
Totally, exactly.
Always gonna wonder. It's the one
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
when I said like I had to fall back on performing. I'm so glad I had to because then I never wonder like could I have done it? I'm like okay, yeah, I wasn't working
Yeah.
at good places, but I was
Yeah.
working professionally, making
Definitely.
a living, doing it, and it's like I never have to wonder now, and I like that.
There you go. There's always a cubicle out there. There's plenty of cubicles
right.
just waiting for a butt to sit in them. So that's
Right.
why I said, just go do it, dude. And if you don't
Totally.
do it, and even if you do it for a while and then you want to stop, that cubicle, guess what? It'll still
and
be
you
Still
can
do it.
still pick up a power drill and
Yep.
show up at a
Yep.
stage, and they'll say, "Hey, can
And
you
I
do
play
this
on
for
it.
us?"
Yeah.
I have a student right now who does have the talent, but she's like, I want to go into arts administration.
And
I was
that's
like,
fine,
that's
too.
amazing.
I want all of those names of every single person
Okay,
that
yep.
you can think of
Oh, yeah,
that are
absolutely.
from the area
Yeah.
that are doing this for a living.
Yeah, I can do it for my kids, but as well as I can. Here's the other thing: I can contact that 10 group and get
Yes,
you a whole list
I
of
want
names.
all
and,
of them.
I'm going to be together with most of those groups actually this weekend at the Thespian
You're
Conference.
going to be all in this together with them?
Oh my God, that's this weekend.
That is
What
this-
Thespian? Is it Northview?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sheesh. We should have covered that.
I should have had you covered
Oh,
our Northwest
come on.
Ohio. I planned our Northwest Ohio
Northview.
one the last 2 years.
I'm sorry. What was that? Everybody was talking.
I planned our Northwest Ohio. So this is the state conference this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but we have a Northwest Ohio one in December. The past 2 years I planned, so we should have you.
I would
that one
love. We would love to be there and do this. Like we went to Octa.
Okay,
We covered
yeah.
Octa.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Ohio Community Theater one. So this is another one that we need to be a part of. We need to know when these are happening, what's going on, and try to figure out how we can sit and talk to people about what's going on there.
Yeah.
Because we're still stupid about lots of stuff and about what's going on and what's happening.
Well,
But-
now you know who to ask.
If you respond.
I know how to use email. You do not.
Email is the worst for me at work. Like, I get all these emails flying at me at work, and I just delete.
Okay.
Delete.
Well, we got to stop doing that.
I know,
You sound
I
like
know.
my students. Oh, I saw it. I just didn't read it.
delete, and then I make it because they send me a message. I'm like, well, we'll see if it's serious. I'll delete it for now. If it's serious, they'll come back and tell me again. I got
Oh,
two
good.
because we
You're-
work
you're
in
a
the-
teenager.
Well, yeah, I am. My brain never. So we work in the marketing department. So we work for ourselves, where we do our own marketing, our own promotion, our own commercial stuff, and then we also work for sales, who always need stuff, and then we need news, who always need stuff. So we're getting bombarded by everybody who thinks their things are the most important thing that need to go to the top of the list. So I'm always like, delete.
Welcome to being a teacher at the end of the quarter.
Right. Right. Good for you though. With the letters and everything, I really like that kind of thing. That's got to
Joe
be.
Beth Gonzalez.
It has to be super rough though. Obviously, for even when you don't get your how did you
Oh,
handle
so many broken
like,
hearts.
Was it terrible the first time you there, Skylar? Not getting in?
Digging that in.
Yeah, I want to hear about it. I hear about how awful it was and. Did you go? I have two kids. Let me tell you, they're in theater, and there were lots. There have been so many tears in my house, and from me too.
Well, and I've.
Oh.
Please.
Yeah, I wanna-
I guess like even like when I didn't get casted in like that first show, like it did like it sucked, but then it also gave me that much more motivation to
Really?
work that
Look at
much
you.
harder.
That's what I'm saying. That's who
Definitely.
Skylar is. Like,
And a lot of
she's-
people would have just like, you know what? I don't want you either.
And some do say that.
that would have probably
Crazy.
been me. No, it's so hard, and Ron and I are always so impressed with theater kids specifically, and probably team speech and debate too, because you're really putting yourself out there.
And you've got to have a thick skin. You've got to
Yeah.
take that criticism and accept it and apply it and figure out how can you improve. And if you don't have that thick skin, you're gonna fail. Like,
well,
you,
I was
you
a
can't
sporty
grow.
guy growing up, so I had all the sports stuff, but no offense to the sporty people, there's almost always a team around you, and you're always out there, and you're like, oh, it's hard to be on a basketball team, really, with the 4 other dudes out there helping you out. And if you hit the ball off your foot one time and it rolls out of bounds, it's okay. But if you have your solo and you everybody's going to know.
Yep.
Everybody's going to see it. And to me, and the emotions that you have to pull from to be a theater performer and to put out there for everybody to see, yikes. That's not required by the quarterback. That is not required by the quarterback to do any of that stuff.
No.
And that is
Theater kids are the best.
always the most impressive thing.
And
But these
Right.
are the generation that live behind a screen.
Yeah.
Like they truly don't know how.
is that true?
So
Is she insulting you right now?
No, she's
Putting up-
so right.
She's
It's embarrassing.
and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to dating and all that kind of stuff.
Don't even get me started.
I know. I have two, and they're both in college, and I'm always like, I'm amazed at all the stuff that they don't do. I'm like, why would you not just go ask her? What's the problem? She's just gonna say no. Who
Yeah, why
cares?
don't they just come ask us? Come on.
that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. Exactly.
So yeah, theater kids, Kyle and I, our kids, when they're in theater, if they were out with theater kids, we didn't worry about them.
Yeah.
We went
You
to
guys
bed.
are all pretty good.
No curfew. We're going to bed.
Are we fools for thinking that? Is that what you think? You laugh
For
pretty
the
hard at
most
that.
part, you're right, because they talk so openly in front of me. Sometimes I'm like, you do know I'm in the room, right? You know I'm here, right? But honestly, for the most part, they're good kids.
They're like they'd rather be standing around a piano singing than out doing
They're
something
dorks.
bad.
But they're my
They're dorks.
We literally we were like, Skylar, me, and some of our friends were together till 1 a.m. last night. What were we doing? Watching Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
Rewind that song again. That song was the slap.
I was like, okay,
that song
guys,
slaps.
you're
Hit
gonna
it
be the
again.
Triplomakers. I'll be Anna Kendrick.
Dorks. Dorks.
No, it's all great stuff. I love it. All right, I'm hitting the stop now.
Okay.
I thought you hit it a while ago.
I did.